Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're customizing the Albany Lurcher in Grand Theft Auto Online. This was of course added with the Halloween update to Grand Theft Auto Online this year, and it is a limited time vehicle. So anyway, we're hopping in. We're going to start off with the armor. We're going to go all the way up on that. The brakes, we're going all the way up on those as well. For the bumpers, we do have front and rear bumper options for this vehicle. For the front bumper, we're going to go for the custom chin spoiler because why not? For the rear bumper, obviously this is the special feature of the Lurcher. Sorry if that jump scared you. Of course, there is the wheelie bar that we can add to the back of this thing. It would probably improve this thing's overall performance, so we're going to go ahead and do that. For the engine, we are going to upgrade that all the way up. For the exhaust, we do have a few different options here. We can do side exits, of course we can do rear exits as well. We'll go for the chrome tip exhaust. I like the angledness of those exhausts, so we'll do that. For the grille, we can add the custom grille. I do like that better, it does look a little better, so we'll do that. For the hood, of course we have the cowl induction hood. We also have the vented hood, as well as the single intake bug catcher and the triple intake. We're going to go for the vented hood. I like the look of that, so we'll do that. For the interior, of course we can add ornaments. There's, you know, all the typical ones that you can get at Benny's, everything like that. Nothing too special. However, there are a couple of special ones. We got the Grim Reaper bobblehead and the Slasher bobbleheads. We'll do the yellow masked Slasher bobblehead right now. For the lights, we are going to go for a neon kit. We're going to add front, back, and sides to this thing for sure. And for the color of that, we're going to go red, of course, because it is Halloween. I think that's pretty cool. We would go for some headlights, except we're going to go to the arena workshop after this and actually add headlights onto this thing, so we'll do that in a few minutes. For the livery, we have the Ripper livery that we have on the vehicle right now, or of course we have the Hangman's Grave. Of course we also have the no livery as well, but I think that we're just going to keep the Ripper livery. I do like the look of that. Yellow and black, we are going to do that for the plate for sure. For the respray of the car, we could go for a red. We could do my crew color here, or we could do something a little bit different. I think that what I want to go for actually is a dark red. You guys may have seen my other customization that I did for the Halloween vehicles, and I think that wine red is going to look pretty good on this, so we're going to go for that. For the suspension, we are going to lower it down all the way. For the transmission, we're going all the way up on that, and the turbo, we have to add that onto the vehicle as well. For the wheels, I do like the stock wheels on this thing. However, I think that I want to go for the Krakos. I do like those a little better. They're pretty similar. We are going to go black for those, of course. For the tires, we are going to go bulletproof, and for the tire smoke, we got to add red tire smoke to this thing because I think that's going to look pretty cool. The windows, we are going to tint those all the way out. Of course, you can still briefly see the zombie getting out of the coffin there, so that is kind of cool. But for right now, we're going to take this thing down to the ground, then we're going to head over to the arena workshop, and then we're going to get into the actual review on the vehicle. Alright, so here we are at the arena workshop. We got the Lurcher. We're going to head inside to the workshop level, and we're going to go ahead and actually switch out my Frankenstein that's already in here for the Albany Lurcher. So now we're going to modify the Lurcher in the arena workshop, and of course for the headlights on this thing, we are going to change the color of those. For the headlight color, I want to go for a red. I think that it looks really good, especially on these Halloween vehicles, so we will do that. Now it's time to exit the arena workshop and the arena itself and actually get into this review on the Albany Lurcher. So first off, of course, we got to do the sound test of the car, so I'm going to let you guys hear what this thing sounds like. So the Lurcher doesn't really sound that fantastic. I think it's a pretty average sound. It sounds just like the Albany Buccaneer, which this thing is of course based off of. The Lurcher's just an extended Buccaneer. It sounds, you know, the same as that. It's not really a special sound. It's been out since 2013, so it's you know, nothing too new or too exciting with that. Now, as far as the review on the car goes and the actual performance of the vehicle, the Albany Lurcher, from what I remember from last year, is not my favorite vehicle to drive ever. Now, of course, I said this with the Frankenstein customization and review that's already been released on my channel, but these cars are collectibles. You're not exactly buying these for performance. I am well aware of that. However, it is still my job actually tell you guys about the performance of the vehicles, because that's just what I do. Now, the Albany Lurcher is a little bit quicker than the Frankenstein. I think in a straight line, I do believe that this thing is quicker. It also gets a better launch due to this thing being in the muscle category. So, of course, because it's in the muscle category, you can do the wheelie off the line, which will allow the tires to actually grip up pretty well and get this thing moving very, very quickly. Beyond that, the acceleration is still pretty good. Even after the initial launch, it's not bad, that's for sure. The top speed on this vehicle is definitely better than the Frankenstein. However, it's still nothing to write home about. It's still not that amazing. But you know, it is pretty good. And as far as the handling goes, that's probably the Albany Lurcher's worst feature. This thing is of course based off the Albany Buccaneer, which is not a terrible handling muscle car in GTA. However, it's far from the best. And the Albany Lurcher basically adds like 6 feet more of room onto the car, and it makes this thing's rear weight bias pretty substantial. So of course, as a result of this, you do get oversteer on pretty much every single corner that you will go around. It's kind of brutal. It does not handle that well. However, it does actually handle decently. I must say that I am actually surprised at how good this thing is performing for me right now. I would say that it probably does handle a little bit better than the Frankenstein, not by much, but just ever so slightly better. Obviously, this thing, because like I said, it does have that insane rear weight bias, or maybe not rear weight bias, but the it's got a bit of a pendulum effect, that's for sure, because that rear end is so long. You can get this thing to drift very, very, very easily. And it's actually surprisingly good at drifting too. I must say that you can actually hold a decent slide with this car. So that is kind of fun. However, that's probably not what you're gonna want most of the time, but it is kind of a cool feature. So the Albany Lurcher, the performance is not that great. However, it is definitely a bit better than the Frankenstein in pretty much every single way. I do think that this is a better looking vehicle than the Frankenstein, and it's definitely more unique because of that zombie in the back of the car hanging out of the coffin. Obviously, this thing is based off of a hearse, if you couldn't tell. So, you know, it is a pretty unique vehicle. I would say this thing is a lot more unique than the Frankenstein. So out of the two, I would pick this thing up. It is also cheaper than the Frankenstein as well. Like I said, it gets better performance. And of course, it does have that cool little kind of Easter egg thing in the back of the vehicle. So I would say that the Lurcher is definitely the better overall vehicle. If you guys want a collectible Halloween vehicle and you only have money for one or the other, I would say get the Lurcher. However, obviously, if you guys are interested in collecting all of the things that you can get for the Halloween update, the Lurcher is going to be a vehicle that you're probably not going to want to pass up on. If you got room for both, definitely get both. If you got money for both, definitely get both. However, if you had to pick between the two, I would say get the Lurcher. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for the Albany Lurcher customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.